Stop what you're doing and tune in from coast to coast. It's the Howard Hour with your host with the most, Howard 702 LV.
And that's me. Yes, and I'll say that times three. Yo, what's good, what's good, what's good? It's your boy HT, House 702. Let's get tripping like a kid, untie his shoes. And if you don't know the vibe, now you know the move. Welcome to the Howard Hour Live. And you know, that's a place for me to be the you, the exact. And it's a place just to be comfortable, and that's a fact. Man, I know. You're looking at me like, hold on, man. It's the second week in a row you did to us, man. It's not Friday night, and you're still going on. All right. Man. Yes, that's how it goes. That's how it goes when you're busy in this thing, man. And hey, we gotta accommodate to sometimes, and hey, we doing just fine. But now, when there's that, folks, we are seeing that we are getting to the end of another week, man, and that's just something. Put some confetti in the air. I don't know about y'all, but hey, when you get to the end of the week, that means that it's something that you get to see complete. But not even this, that you get to see goals that you either achieve or either goals that you could either reset on. And not even as that, folks, just with this whole crazy week this we've been having going on, we've been having a lot of stuff that's been popping up in the news and everything, man. I don't know about y'all, but man, we've been seeing about they have the Paris Olympics, y'all, just started. Yes, folks, the 2024 Paris Olympics are really going, and it is, man, something that's gonna be really good to see. Really not even as that. But they're gonna show the USA. They talking about in different factors, different. If I'm not mistaken, new games and stuff that's being introduced. I'm saying games, but new. How you would say it? New, not journeys, but new obstacles, I guess, and everything that will be put around and everything. I even seen they have new sports. I'm sorry, sports. But yes, I'm seeing they're even doing a break dancing competition out there, folks, at the Olympics. And I started thinking, like, man, this is really getting to the point that you're really sitting here watching somebody break dance at the Olympics. That's how you know it's getting to the point. It's not even just a spectacle, but it's keeping you intrigued. But man, not even just that, folks. Why even with this week we have that starting up, we also had the San Diego Comic Con start up. Yes, folks, San Diego Comic Con. If you don't know about that, again, we had Mr. Kevin Winston on last week talking about the Comic Con. That is something that goes on every year in San Diego, man. It's one of the biggest, baddest, and one of the best Comic Cons to go to. Not even is that, man. It's somewhere you get to see the latest trends in comics, movies, and fashion. And not even is that, man. You can go there, congregate, meet with people, network, and just explore the different realm of just, hey, being a nerd out here. Hey, but man, not even is that, folks. While that's going on, we got my folks over there in Texas. Shout out to the great group RCDC, man. They have their famous DreamCon going on. Yes, again, folks, DreamCon. If you never heard about that, man, this is one of the good events that's going on. It's an expo, not even just about anime, film, entertainment, pop culture. It is really a con about just, hey, if you got dreams you want to achieve, go for it. And these individuals that really throw it on, really are doing it. If I'm not mistaken, I think this is their fourth or fifth year that's going on with it. And man, it's really good to see stuff like that blow up in a positive manner. But not even as that, man. We getting on to with this week, folks. All my Marvel heads. Yes, all my Marvel heads. The day came upon. The day is here, and I don't know if you've been seeing all the hype and all this, but finally, folks, we got the Deadpool and Wolverine movie out. Yes, folks, I say that again. I don't know about y'all, but we have the Deadpool and Wolverine movie. Yes, man, the Deadpool and Wolverine is actually the third installment in the Deadpool franchise, and it's actually coming a few years after the second one. And not even is that, he actually brought back and revived the old man himself, Mr. Logan. Mr. Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds are really a combo to really see on the screen. And not even is that, man, just to see this revive that they're really bringing on to the MCU plate is really good to see. Again, I'm not a person to give spoilers, and I'm not going to give spoilers, but yes, man, this is something that the fans should really go and see, go and check it out. But not even is that, like every Deadpool movie, it is not a kid's movie. It is not a kid's movie. Just because you see Disney on the Montclair, don't let it fool you. Don't let it fool you. But not even is that, man, it is really something that if you're really a Marvel head, go and see it, go and see it, go and see it. But not even just that, folks. We're getting it on and rolling, my man. Tonight. I'm telling you, one of you ever been to my show, I always talk about the word innovate and innovators, you feel me? And this individual that I got coming to the stage tonight is really both of those. Not both of those, but is really that embodiment. And to innovate, you really have to get onto not in a platform, but get into a state that you are really putting this long way past longevity. When I say about being an innovator, you are sitting there looking at this platform or platform way beyond just the structure of what you do within. This individual, man, co-founded Between Realities. Man, if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's a podcast, a weekly talk show with guests from within the worlds of what we have in virtual reality. With his partner, Harry Scevia, you need to go check him out, man. In 2020, since then, man, the program has become a hub for the VR community. And just recently, folks, yes, man, I got to witness this with my own eyes. They just won at the AWE 2024 Augie Award for Best Content Creator. Man, just to see that, folks, is really something superb. And not even is that. Between Realities was also nominated for Social VR Influencer of the Year in 2021 in the VR Awards and VR Content Creator of the Year Award in 2022 VR Awards. The podcast is currently wrapping up its 8th season. Do you hear that, folks? This 8th season, man. That's what I'm talking about. When it's longevity and this stuff, you really go on. But not even is that, while working as community manager and a haptic designer for B Haptics from 2020 to 2022, this individual helped bring wearable haptic experiences to what we do on VR. Yes, man. This man really put in some work there. When you feel that little body jump and it's not your mama touching you, that's really what's going on in this platform. But not even just that, man. This individual, I was actually able to meet at AWE, man, and just to really sit there and not even, to meet him and then find out, oh, man, hold on, this is something that I really was not studying, but really looking up way before even knew about, physical form. That's what we love about this VR thing, and I'm so glad to really bring him to the stage tonight, man. And I really need y'all to put some confetti in the air, man, for the one, the only, man, Mr. Alex Meland. Yes. So some confetti in the air.
Yo.
You just jump right here on this end.
I'm coming, dude. I am coming.
You gotta jump through the square right here. There we go. You got it.
Yo.
You gotta do the entrance with it.
Thank you. How do I look? Am I in a good spot?
Yes, sir. Just don't put the feet on the couch. You good? I say I'm still paying off on it.
Hey, man, this is an amazing set. I did not realize, this is my first time being in here. Thank you for having me, Howard. Really appreciate you. And I didn't realize that you were on a spaceship too. If you've never seen our podcast, Between Realities happens on a spaceship. And we've even taken the scene that Between Realities is in because we hired somebody on Fiverr to make our environment for the podcast, but they made it in Blender. So we actually ended up taking that scene and rebuilding out our spaceship from Between Realities in Neos VR, and now what is called Resonate VR. So anyway, I've been in our own spaceship, and it feels like I'm on the Between Realities spaceship right now. This is fantastic.
I know. Yeah, how you just said that, man. I'm a sci-fi head, and then also I was a no cable baby, so all the TV that we used to watch and everything was either black and white TV or the old channels, the soaps. Man, one of the shows we used to always watch was one of my favorites was Land of the Lost, and then also, man, Farscape and everything they used to have back. But I used to always have the little retro. I used to always find man, that looked like a microwave in the background, and they were sitting there working on it all to the point. But yes, shout out to the wonderful visionaries, man, CJ Shallow and Miss M5 Divine, man. They really sat there and made the vision come alive. And hey, for you to see the detail, I really know that you're in the VR. Man, so I'm just gonna get down to it, man. Mr. Alex, how did you come about in this thing that we call virtual reality? I know it just wasn't sitting here on the Quest, so I know how did what did it come about with you to make you come upon like virtual reality?
So I'm like you in the way that like I've always liked sci-fi stuff. I've always been into computers and video games. I was born in 1987. So when the internet was like kind of becoming a household thing, my dad brought it home like on his work laptop, and I was able to dig around on like Angel Fire and GeoCities websites, and kind of get some of that fun grassroots website action from the early days. But I've always been a video gamer and computer gamer. And particularly, I've always been a huge Nintendo fan. And the Nintendo Wii, everybody loved the Wii. It was like such a popular console. But one of the reasons why I loved it, shout out to the Nintendo Wii. Shout out to Nintendo in general, bro. They are amazing. But the Nintendo Wii was so sick because there was an SD slot on the front. And this was like kind of in the first times that you started to see stuff like this on home consoles. And people found out that it's pretty easy to hack your Nintendo Wii just by like bootloading some stuff through that SD card on the front. And I was doing a lot of like downloading games and like running them through a hard drive on my Wii and stuff. But I saw a video of somebody that had like reverse engineered the sensor bar for the Wii and the controller. They like switched the spots and put the controller on their TV and then put the sensor bar on their head. And when they did that, like with the hacked program that they were running, they were actually able to make a head tracked experience using the Wii. And I saw it, and like on the TV screen, there was like layers of targets, and you could see they had like actual visual depth to them on his TV. And that got me thinking, like, holy crap, one day, like head-mounted displays are like definitely going to be the way we do all of this stuff, because if you ever played, GoldenEye 007 or Halo or Call of Duty or any of these like classic first-person shooter games, if you ever want to peek a corner, you have to, for all intents and purposes, stick your entire body around the corner. Like your gun is, for all intents and purposes, attached to your chin. So like if I want to peek a corner, I have to like stick my whole head around to do it. But with a head-mounted display like this, my hands are separate. And I was like realizing when I was watching that Nintendo Wii video that one day I'm going to be able to stick my hands like around a corner and like blind fire while I keep my head back. And eventually I started seeing videos of like Facebook's involvement with virtual reality. And that's when I really started to pay attention. And I did a PlayStation VR demo at a Best Buy, and that was pretty much it.
Hey, like that's put the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
Like it's really cool to see that aspect. I mean, because like you say, you've seen it from an early age. Just like, okay, hold on, this is technology that I'm seeing around. But not even is that, but to get it to a point where, like how you said, you have it on your face, but you see different replicas. Like with the Nintendo Wii, I mean, that was one of the first things ever to see with me too. I'm like, man, you can put a Nintendo GameCube on here, and I mean, that's my first aspect of like, finding out about like emulators and all that. But to see to the aspect, like how you say, you switch the whole diagram with it, like this is what we can make something out of. And that brings me like one of my next questions with you, like how did you know like virtual reality like was making a certain calling to you? Like how did it go? I mean, because I see you still having fun with it, but when did you start to see like this was like a serious like aspect, like okay, hold on, this is like starting to make way?
So, I definitely got my interest with that PlayStation VR demo, right? But that wasn't really enough for me because I've always been like a multiplayer gamer, and I've always like used games to connect with people, and the internet, frankly, to connect with people. I mean, that's what the stuff does, is it connects us, So after I had that PlayStation demo, I was like, all right, I got to do something that's multiplayer. Like I have to do a multiplayer VR experience and see what that's like. So I got some time at a local VR arcade, and forced them to put me into a multiplayer experience. And they were like trying to talk me out of it because they were like, man, I don't know, like the graphics aren't that good. Like we've got way cooler stuff that we could show you. I'm like, no. Put me in a multiplayer game. And it was Rec Room. And I got into Rec Room, and somebody, one of the first people I encountered was running around me, went to go do a high five. And when I high fived them, I felt the haptic vibration in my controller at that moment that like our hands made contact. And I realized that I like just high fived somebody across space and time. And that blew my mind. And I realized that I was experiencing the technology of the future. And from that point on, I knew I was going to be involved. And it was after getting addicted to a game on PlayStation VR called Firewall Zero Hour, which was a first-person shooter, Firewall Howard Hour on the PlayStation VR. I got addicted to it, and that company that made that game hired a YouTuber named PSVR Frank to be their community manager. Like, they gave the guy a job, and like he started going to work in the VR space after starting a YouTube channel. And it like clicked in my head. I was like, hold on. Like, if this guy can do it by starting a YouTube channel and getting involved in the industry, I can start a YouTube channel and get involved in the industry. And I like bought a camera, bought some lights, bought a green screen, started making content, started putting myself out there, and started going to events.
Man, and just to see that's from that end to have that initiative, that is, I mean, not a scary factor, but that is an amazing factor to really see. Like I was saying earlier, you're already looking at the longevity past this, like when, like, you started this as an aspect, like, hold on, this is something that's drawn me in from a fun aspect. And that is what I call, like, real tethering, because without, like, certain aspects like that, if it can't pique your, like, curiosity, how can we, like, dive more into it instead of, like...
It blew my mind. It blew my mind. Like, it was more than sparking my curiosity. Like, it melted my brain. I could not believe how incredibly immersive it was when I put the headset on. Like, and I know that like VR's been around for a while, right? Like this Nintendo Wii thing. That's kind of just how my brain made the connection. But like, people have been making VR headsets since the early '80s. You know what I mean? So like, this shit's been around for a while. But when I finally tried like what would be called like modern consumer virtual reality experiences, it blew my mind, and it changed me. Like it like inherently at my core changed me, and like completely transformed my perspective on the type of experiences that we're going to be having as humans moving into the next few decades. Like this is just the beginning. Like if you compare what an Atari 2600 looks like to a modern PC game at 4K running at 240 hertz, like it is incredible what's been accomplished in like these 30 to 40 years. Bro, it's insane. And this technology is going to grow at an even more drastic exponential rate. So like, I'm like hanging on for dear life right now because I have no clue what this is going to feel like in another 10, 20 years.
Man, that's how longevity starts. You don't look at how long this is going to be a structure. Or are you seeing it? Oh yeah, I'm building right now with it. And I mean, that's especially on this platform that we're in, virtual reality. And again, I don't know if it's just from the book I just been reading. When they said about the metaverse, this is what everybody like had it misconstrued. Like they said it all started with virtual reality. And I'm just like sitting here like, it started like before. And we just have an enhancement with virtual reality with it. And that's the thing I love about it, because now it can bring into aspects of gaming, business, to the point now you're able to do a show every week from aspects of you're keeping it some way immersive. Did you ever expect to have it like with your format, with your show? Did you ever have it to an aspect to keep it immersed the way that you do, or did that just come along with the territory?
Well, so what do you ask me again?
So when I said again, when you were saying earlier about you've seen about with the content and everything from the other creator that like, okay, hey, this is something that I can make from it. Did you go into that with the mindset of like keeping it immersed? Because I'm seeing again, you're talking to individuals all from like inside the realm of virtual reality. Like, was that always an aspect of starting off with?
No, it wasn't. I initially started as kind of like a more traditional YouTuber approach, like gameplay live streams, product reviews, unboxings of stuff, and the idea to start going to conferences came after I started the channel. And I realized that I had an ability to engage with people and to interview people that not everybody has. And I kind of saw like a bit of a gap for that in the like intimate VR community. Like I didn't see anybody out there like with the YouTube channel that was focused on like putting a microphone in the face of all of these people, But I realized that by going to an event like this, like I'm in the room with the people who can give me that opportunity that I'm looking for. You know what I mean? So like, rather than just like sit here and like build my platform and hope that they see me, why not go and be in the same room as these people and then send them DMs on Twitter and be like, yo, can I get a quick interview with you? Bam, pop over, quick microphone back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you, sir. And now we're homies. You know what I mean? And I like slowly started to grow a network by attending events and doing in-person interviews for my YouTube channel. And as I was doing that, I met this dude who goes by Skiva, who lives near me in Arizona. I live in Phoenix, and he lives in Mesa, Arizona. And we both attended a virtual reality event in person that he organized through a subreddit that he created called VRNAZ. And when I showed up, I ended up being the only person who showed up. And it was just the two of us. So we kind of became friends and started hanging out. And when he saw that I was going to these events and like having this opportunity to meet all these people who he was like following on YouTube already, he was like, dude, can I like tag along and like be your cameraman or something like that? And I was like, yeah, let's go. So he kind of like chased me around to a couple of conferences and like, you know, carried all my stuff while I frolicked like a kid in a candy store through the halls of the conference. And after a while, I could just tell that like he was the real deal, like pure, like cut from the same cloth as me, like just loves the technology and wants to do whatever he can to be involved and push it forward. But the channel was called Alex VR. It was like all like really focused on me because I was trying to get my name out there. And I wanted to have a project that the two of us could both have our name on. And it really was inspired by like the two of us hanging out at his crib, like smoking a joint and having like deep philosophical discussions about the nature of this technology that we're using. Because if you think about it, like VR is literally hijacking our sensory perception organs and like feeding new input to our brains that like completely convinces us that we're in a new place doing something different. And to me, there's a ton of philosophical implications to that. So kind of being inspired by those conversations that we were having, I was like, dude, we should like have these conversations like online. So like people can hear this and like we can contribute to the space and like help see if anybody else out there is like has these perspectives and wants to have these conversations because it's a lot of fun. And then the idea to start inviting people as guests kind of just fell into place. It made a lot of sense. And to your point, has become an incredibly powerful networking tool. You know, having a show like yours, you have somebody on, boom, you got, you know, I'm locked here for an hour. You know what I mean? Like we're going to have a conversation and we're going to get closer during this time. And after you do, you know, 150 or 200 episodes and you have a different guest every time, you meet a lot of people and more opportunity presents itself.
No, I mean, I love how you throw into that aspect with that tool of networking because, I mean, like I laugh like this in my head right now when you use this again. Giving the origin story of how you came about with Between Reality. I mean, it reminded me like because I met you at AWE, but to meet you again, I met you in physical form. But to follow, I was like following you already because following Between Realities. I'm sitting here like, yeah, I told you first I met you. I'm like, oh, you the one that did the review about Lawnmower Man, and not even just that what blew my mind to that aspect is like how you're saying. Now you're in the same room, not just an aspect, but in the same environment, and it all starts with, you say, like, with all just going with that first jump. And not just with that first jump, me being at my first AWE, I'm seeing those tools of networking, and now is that henceforth I'm able now to sit here and have a guest like this man right here, hey, with those tools. But not even just that, it's no Disney-ish, but I see it's the circle of meta life in there because so many structures I see built up on here because all of that went like it had to start with like not just a physical connection, but hey, okay, this is something we really connected on besides just of levels of just okay gaming aspect or what. This is something that we both see the long run in. Again, I say back to longevity. So to really see like a genuine connection build up, like especially a dynamic duel that y'all doing with that, because you were talking about. Hey, like at first it was just something that was fun to him now because I'm getting ready to see that he's getting ready to go out of the country next month to speak at Gamescom or so. Like I was saying, like it's stuff like that that is like inspiring because it all starts with hey, this simple people at first like virtual reality.
Let's do this. Yeah, let's just do this. Like let's do something. You know, like maybe getting inspired and like I don't know, like I'm somebody who like I guess I've always known that I had the ability to like go after it, you know, or like start a YouTube channel or like be that person or whatever. But like, you know, I think it's easy to like convince yourself that like maybe it's too competitive of an environment or something, or there's already so many people doing it, or are you even that good or whatever. But there's kind of like two core philosophies that I landed on that like really clicked in my head and like made it make sense for me. And one of them is that good people are hard to come by, bro. Like, period. Good people, like legit, well-intentioned, amazing, hardworking, passionate, legit homies. They're hard to come by, man. They really are. And I'm going to identify you as good people. And I was able to identify myself as good people too. You know what I mean? So that's the hard part. That is the hard part. So if you're good people, it really ain't what you know, it's who you know. Straight up, man. And when I realized those two things together, I was like, I'm good people, and that industry needs me. Like, the VR industry needs me. It needs somebody as passionate as me, as knowledgeable as me, as who loves this as much as I do. You know what I mean? So what's the second part? Who do I know? Who can I connect with? Who can I introduce myself to that will see that light in me and give me that opportunity? And it's like the 1-2 punch, man. Like, went after it and done, you know?
And I mean, this is why I'm sitting here with a smile on my face again, like I'm at a Christmas store. Like I mean, that's because that's how, like that's how you have like on the walls, they have like the hieroglyphics and everything. You have to leave a blueprint, not even just about a blueprint, but if you leave a map that somebody else can construct to. It's so many ways of how you can, how you say, somebody else has that same fire. Just like, again, I talked to all my comic book head, somebody else can be that next superhero, and you don't even just know about it, but if you have that passion behind it, like how you say, you know you love this technology, you want to see it grow, and to grow with it, that is like, again, that's one of the biggest, like, I'm like, whoa, like, mouth dropped to me, like, this is what dreams are made of, no Hillary Duff, like, just... in the aspect of, man, this is going way beyond the realm. Did you ever feel like it would get to an aspect, like, do it ever become an overwhelming aspect of it? I mean, because, again, I see now, this takes majority of your time now. This takes majority of your life. Do you feel like this is still, like, something that you have to build as a job format, or is it something that you still have fun with?
That's a great question. You know, I do have fun with it, but it is not in the same capacity that it was when I started as just a pure mind-blown gamer. You know, like I can remember, you know, going back to those days when my dad brought home his work laptop and I started playing around on the internet for the first time. I remember using a search engine for the first time and just being blown away by it. Like, holy crap, I can type something in and it goes and gets it and brings it back to me. And I found so much novelty in that experience. Like, I could spend a whole evening just on a search engine, just Googling stuff and finding new websites and like surfing the web, you know, like that was good enough for me. But after a bunch of years, the internet becomes kind of like a normal staple part of your life experience. Like, it's no longer this novelty. It's no longer this like completely just mind-blowing new experience. And in a lot of ways, VR has kind of become that for me as well. Like, when I first got started, the fact that I could pop a headset on and then take it off and be in two completely different worlds within like 1 or 2 seconds of each other was just shocking to me. Like, I could not believe how freaking amazing that was. Now it's so easy for me to pop a headset on and off all day long and like not really embrace the novelty of the experience that I'm having. So in a lot of ways, I don't hesitate to say that magic is gone, but I've just adopted this technology to my life. And starting to work in it and like using it or like having your career be focused around it has certainly made me less of like a typical power user. And I know that that's not uncommon. But I am also surrounded by people like my co-host of Between Reality, Skiva, who throughout all of this time is still living in the headset all day. You know, like he is always playing VR games. He's always connecting with people in VR, like you're going into all the new experiences, like constantly. I go into a lot of stuff that I'm like involved with. You know, like right now, my work is with Impact Reality. We're a PR and marketing firm that specializes in virtual reality games, and I'm like popping in and out of my clients' experiences all the time. You know, like going in there, coming out, giving feedback, doing some strategy, thinking about marketing. You know, like stuff like that. So a lot of my VR experience, or a lot of my VR time, is kind of spent doing that work style stuff. And then in my free time, it's like easier just to like jump into a couple games of Rocket League with a homie, or you know, play some Nintendo Switch with my wife or something like that.
No, I mean, and that's you're doing with that balance. I mean, it's still because you could, again, at the end of the day, you can still have something on the VR that like perk up. You're like, okay, hey, that is something new on here that wasn't here before. I mean, because I was seeing that abstract with you like way beyond. Like with let's say with the haptic glove demo you was giving with me and everything. That's not even as that. I see like how thorough you will stay with like this technology that you really like have insight about, and it's good to have that feedback with it. It's good to have that how you say that build up with it, because you can let the people know about, hey, this is a bug that you can watch out for. This is something that, hey, that either we could either tweak up now, or to an aspect like somebody else has an eye to it. And excuse me, like to see that aspect, like you're not letting it dwell, like because a lot of people when you get into this aspect, like once you feel like, okay, hey, this is my business now, F everything else with it now. I'm on a straight tunnel mode with it. I'm just gonna be all at the the conferences with it. I'm just not gonna be worried about nobody. I'm just gonna be all go to, and I'm seeing how long that lasts, and I call that the trailblazer status. Like with any aspect, any person, then to see you sit there, you learn, you sit there, you observe, but then you sit there, you win. And a lot of cats, like you have to sit, like you, I mean, we could go in there all day, like running full force, and then we can run into a wall. We could go juggernaut and everything and all this, but like to sit here, okay, hey, I know the value I could bring. Then it goes way beyond now. Like, okay, hey, this is something I can have fun with, but still bring a business mind to. That is the biggest tethering I can ever see go way beyond. So no, big ups to really like see that bridge with that, because I see so many people with that open women factor. I mean, because I'm a family man. So I know a lot of times on here, just like right now, I said my child is in sleep, and my Mrs. she gotta get ready to go to work in the morning. So this is my job. I say to a lot of people, and a lot of people sit there like, oh well, hey, it's not the typical 9 to 5, or to this aspect to. In the same long run, when I'm like, I'm able to talk to individuals like you. I'm able to sit here and learn, but not even just that. I'm able to sit here and still pass on something else to the next person who wants to learn. And I mean, that's why I see you do with your platform. Did you ever feel like it would get to that structure that you're able now? You just got an award from the Augies. I say, folks, I say this, I'm gonna hit that again. The Augie Awards just went on, man. Yes, just to win, hey, for 2024 VR content, man. Again, and hey, I'm a VR content creator, so to be in the room with other content creators and to see that, big ups again with that, because hey, the night before the party with you, hey, like I say, the party with you, and just to see that on stage, that's really what goals are made of, and people don't understand. Like you got to have these goals to really watch. I brings my question: did you ever fathom the thought that you'll be able to go and get an award for like something that you built up?
Yeah, yeah. Hey! I've definitely fathomed that. Like I'm not saying that I expected to win that award, but what I am saying is that like Skiva and I are our own biggest fans. Like we make the best show we can. And we really like what we do. Like we make the show that we wanted to see. And having somebody like him as a partner is so great, because he is like a perfectionist. Like that dude does not let anything slide. You know what I mean? So when it comes to like putting together something that's polished and professional and looks good, that guy is all over it, And like me, I'm very much that like people person. Like when I get connected with people who share my passion, I become a total social butterfly, and it's so easy for me to like connect with everybody and like have fun conversations. So being able to host a show and like steer conversations while he's like making sure that we have this clean, well-oiled, beautiful production has given us a product that we're really proud of. Like we love our podcast, and we have to pinch ourselves all the time when we look at the guest list. Like you scroll down all of the live episodes of the Twin Realities and all those thumbnails with all of these people who are like visionaries in this industry has like, it's humbling, it's like, man, like, look at, here's 150 people that have contributed to this space. And it's almost this like, I don't know, we're like keeping like a ledger of the happenings of the VR community over the years. And it is really cool to win an award and to get recognition like that, because we don't get the recognition through like the numbers that a lot of like typical YouTubers or something like that might get, like we do a long form content on YouTube, it's like a 90-minute show that for all intents and purposes is like asking you to watch an entire movie in the middle of your day. Like 90 minutes is no joke, you know what I mean? So that type of content doesn't get spread around that much. We've been doing this for over 4 years, and I think we have like 3,500 subscribers. Like we'd love to see a bigger audience, but the audience is very niche. It hasn't grown in the type of way that we would like to see. So to have somebody like AWE give us the recognition like that we got is truly, truly amazing. So it means a lot to us. But yeah, at the end of the day, like we set out to do something really, really good. So, to win an award is incredibly validating, and it's really awesome.
I mean, that's what confidence is about. That's what I mean. Like, that is what we're supposed to hear. You feel me? I mean, because again, like a platform like AWE, that means eyes are really watching you. Not even as that, people are really watching the initiative that's being made. Because how you say, like, we're in there with other content creators, like, and all this. Not even as that. You're on platforms like YouTube, Twitch, all this, where people just worry about the numbers, all this and that, when the people who have the eyes are really watching. And then how you say, you go through the list of like who you have on your show and had on your show, man, it's just like, casual see here, like when you watching the Oscars come on, or watching like to see like individuals really in that community, like to really see like that's how people can really either thrive from, learn, or like really see like, okay, hey, these are really like something, not just other like the common folk. This is a person that's of me that I can like really see like again, to a whole different aspect of like, and it starts with platforms like yourself, and big ups with that again.
Hey, and I gotta say, shout out to Jay Dunn and Joy Rain from Getting Things Done and Get 'Em to the Metaverse podcast. I absolutely love both of them, and we were lucky enough to be on the bill of finalists for AWE alongside of them. And I would have been more than happy if they would have taken that award home, because they are amazing. They are such good content creators, and they totally deserve it. And it was beautiful because like weeks before AWE, I hit them up. I was like, yo, like let's sit next to each other in the audience. Like let's be there like side by side when the shit goes down. And we did. We were sitting next to each other in the audience at the Augies when Content Creator was announced, So like it really felt like we got to share that with them. And they have just been so supportive of us over the years and so awesome. And it was just really, really cool to share that with them. And I hope that they bring it home next year.
And you see, that's what I mean about when it's full circle. Those are two of my superheroes I called them on here. They the reason why I took that step to go to AWE. I kid you not, like I had a business meeting with Joy like 2 weeks before I did my finalization and everything with AWE, and like really sat down like, hey, this is really happening. But no, not even this. I've been following their format and everything for the last couple of years. I told a famous joke. First time I ever met Joy Rain, I lost to her in a singing competition on here. We was both doing singing, and just to see that friendship and everything that was built from there. No, big us with them, because I tell this to everybody, yes, that was somebody I voted for with that aspect, but not even just to see that. But again, like I say, to be in the same room and all that, just that energy, that is what really keeps this platform going. And how you say to be in not even just that small platform, not small community. I say that is a growing community, and like how you say, it should be now to the numbers of. It should be more than just 5,000 people all in there, because there's more than 5,000 people on a headset. Like to the point of, again, like when I'm looking, you're looking at all the demos and all this is going on at this platform. It is going way beyond of just what the perception we're seeing with the MetaQuest are with.
don't mean to interrupt you, but
No.
you really got my gears turning, because you know what happened today? There's a YouTube creator that hit 3 million subscribers on YouTube, and he makes VR content, and it is 95% Gorilla Tag content. And his name is J-Man Curly. But his YouTube channel, a VR YouTube channel, just hit 3 million subs. That's a lot. That's a lot of headsets.
And that's what I mean. And it's like, that's what, again, it makes my mind just so blown, because that is the reach. That is what is really going on with this technology thing. Just like when AOL first came about. When that AOL first came out in the first couple of years, it was just so crazy. It was only in the thousands.
Yeah,
just
they're kids. That is 3 million kids.
Yes.
And that is insane, because then you realize in 10 years, those kids are going to be graduating high school, starting to go to college, and they're going to have been watching VR creators the whole time growing up, you know? And what are they going to be inspired to create and do when they're graduating high school, having grown up with this technology in their lives from the time that they were old enough to walk, you know? Like, it is amazing. So yeah, I think the train has left the station, dude. Like, it's only a matter of time before we see like a critical adoption rate, and like head-mounted displays, whether they're AR glasses, VR headsets, or mixed reality headsets, or whatever. Just head-mounted displays in general, I do think are going to be a household item in the somewhat near future.
Hey Alexa, cue up Circle of Life. I mean, but no, that's what I really see about technology, because something really has to keep not just keep your interest. Something really has to keep those wheels turning, because how you were saying earlier, it can get to a point where it just becomes stagnant. Like, I know a lot of kids, like I say, the famous thing was when we first got on Meta Horizon and everything, you did not want to be around any kids on here, you feel me? Because this was your outlet to, get away, or, be away from that world. But then you're seeing, okay, hell no, the kids on here are the next generation. I'm seeing so many times on here, I'm seeing kids on here, like, I have a kid that follow me around that wants to learn how to host. And I love that, because I'm like, oh, well, this is something that I'm learning, so why would I not want to pass this knowledge down? Like, diving is that, like, I would never be a gatekeeper, how we famous call with those words. And I'm really seeing, like how you're saying now, this is something that I'm doing, so I can just imagine what somebody behind me that comes up with this structure, like, I want it to be like 10 times more, because it will be to the realms, like I'm seeing when we was at AWE, you have resolution now to the point of 16K. Like, right there with visual, like, on your eyes. Like, so I can just imagine by the time they graduate, it'd be to the point, like, we're not going to be looking like avatars no more. It's going to be, like, almost to a face-to-face structure. Yeah. And, like how you say, it's mind-blowing. And it all starts with what we're doing. And I really did not, understand that. Again, I say this on all my shows, like the famous Ben Parker. With great powers comes great responsibilities. And I never understood that until sitting here. Okay, this is something I'm doing with it. And it's blowing my mind, like, right now, like how you said, like, with just putting on the headset. So I know when my son, again, he's 8, and he's watching me do this every day. My son is, like, learning coding and everything now. So I know I'm, like, scared to the fact, like, this is why I got on the computer. I mean, got on the headset and everything, because it's Terminator. I'm scared, like, I'm not going to be taking over or anything. So I know he's watching now. He told me, yeah, Dad, I like VR because I see you can make anything you want. And I never looked at that aspect until, like, I'm like, man, you are totally right, son. If you want to sit here and fly, you can fly. You're going to the point now, if you want to go swimming now, you can sit there and go to, like, an aspect of that. Or if you want to sit there and feel like you're on a date and a girl touch your shoulder.
It is absolutely insane, because, like, we've been transporting our consciousness to virtual worlds for a long time. I don't know if you've ever played an MMORPG like EverQuest or World of Warcraft or something like that, but I've played a lot of games like that over the years, and you are legitimately transporting your consciousness to that world for the duration of your time playing the game. Like, if you think back to your memories of playing something like World of Warcraft, you don't envision some dude sitting in a computer chair hunched over with a mouse and keyboard in his hands. You see your character fighting the stuff in the world that you were in. Like, your memories of that your consciousness holds are literally of the virtual experience, and you weren't even wearing a headset. But now with headsets, that consciousness transportation actually becomes an embodied experience. And now your physical body is connected to that. And that's what makes this so profound and makes it feel so real, because we are actually transporting our consciousness to a virtual environment. And now with the headset and with the haptics in our controllers, we can see and feel it with our own actual body too. Because when we have memories of this interview that we're doing right now, my memory of it is not going to be me sitting in my office with a green screen on the wall in front of me and my computer behind me. It's going to be sitting here on this stage with that blue chair and the green and blue hair, like that is my memory. So my consciousness is here with you right now. And it's just absolutely insane to me that now our bodies are connected to that experience. And what does the evolution of that look like? That's the thing that I'm talking about. It's so exciting to try to conceptualize, because we're not even going to be able to see this coming, I don't think.
Man, that's why I'm like, hey, man, I'm not going to start. I'm not, no spoiler alert, I told you. But that's a lot of stuff you just heard him say. He said that on the interview that he did too, on the Lawnmower Man. That's why I was like, that's what words are really weird, but no, like, that's what keeps this thing, like, getting not even this, that's what keeps it intriguing, I call it. Because with that aspect of not even keeping it, like, you don't know what the next person's going to do with it. And that's what I love about with this platform, because it's getting better and better, but not even as that, it's showing you too, like, where it can go, like, to the point, like, you have people now, I seen a whole dude, like, who, again, he works in the headset almost, like out of 12 hours a day, he's on there. I mean, he's out on there like 12 hours out of the day, and he sits there and he's a body man. He works out. And not even that, he goes on a date with his girl. They both have bodysuits, and I'm sitting to the abstract. He said he never wants to meet in a physical form, and it will get to the point of, like, it's a scary factor if you ever watch Wall-E. I feel like some people, again, they're going to not even do it in moderation, because this is their getaway. What's the first thing you want to do when you want to get away? You don't want to come back. That's a lot of people. So this is going to become their new reality, and I say that's the scary factor, because now you're chasing this to get away from something else. But now when you have it in moderation, like, okay, hey, no, this is something I put on for fun. I know this is still something I can take off, but this is still something that's around me, just like the internet. We know so many people that say, like, oh, I'm off the grid, but hey, they know the internet is just right there, not even a mile away. But still, the same long run, it's not, when it's not in your face. I see that's why so many, like, small communities and everything that comes up about this. But then I take it back with the word, not just about being in your face. When it's like when it's in the right faces, like how you were saying earlier, about when the right people could push it, or like the right people could have, like, hey, this is something you should do. This is something you should listen to music on. I really feel like we can get that more.
Well, regardless, like I said earlier, the train has left the station. Okay, this is happening. This is going down. Like this, all the stuff that, like, we're seeing trending, happening. Like, oh, what if this gets too scary? And, like, we got to be careful. You're right. We do have to be careful. But at the end of the day, we are going to encounter this technology, and we are going to encounter these problems. Everything that is an advancement in the world of technology comes with duality. In fact, everything that exists has an inherent like quality of duality. And what I mean by that is, like, the internet has, of course, enabled profoundly amazing things in our world, right? Like, I am blown away by what we can do with the internet all the time. However, it also enables profoundly horrific things, and we've seen evidence of that with stuff like To Catch a Predator, people going into online chat rooms to do, evil things. So the point is that duality is inescapable. We can't escape the nature of duality with anything, regardless of its level of technological advancement. And I think that the potential for good far outweighs the potential for bad. Or maybe I shouldn't say far outweighs, but does outweigh. And I do think that we have the ability as humans to get ahead of it and, like, make sure that we take an ethical approach to how we adopt this technology into our lives moving forward.
Hey, man, I gotta get with your PR. I love. No, I mean, this is what I love about Great Convo. I mean, because that is insight that is really. I mean, because I never really looked at it with that aspect. I mean, like, to really see, like, hey, this is going on at the same long run. You're seeing the good in it, but then you're still seeing some people really export the bad out of it. And I could really see that in the terms of with virtual reality, because I was saying earlier when we had the kids on here, the famous thing, you'll run away from them quick or you'll kick them from the world. And then I was saying, okay, those same kids, they'll get their parents. Those parents know, okay, hey, I got this MetaQuest name, now you're banned. Or now they got you to the point now you're not able to sit here and come on here no more till when I'm seeing it. When you have an open hand now, yeah, you don't have to sit here now, okay, you're at the strip club. Yes, if you see a kid come up in the strip club, yeah, send them on about their way or send them on to a different club and all this and that. It don't have to be into a place of now you're chastising them, because I'm seeing so many people are learning on here still. And not even just that, but I'm seeing so many people too, now, are like praying on here. So it brings me to one of my final questions with you, my man, because again, this is really what the convo is about. You're on this platform, you're growing with it. Do you feel like you want to get to a point of stopping with it, or do you feel like, hey, you're going as long as the wheels are turning?
Yeah, this is my career now. Before COVID, I was a server in restaurants. I was a server at restaurants for like most of my adult life, probably 10, 12 years, something like that. And like, I made a decent living. I worked in nice places and I was a hell of a server. You know what I mean? Like I was crushing it. So like I was confident in my skills. I felt good at what I was doing, and like, it had flexibility. Like if I wanted to leave for a weekend or go do whatever, I could do that. So for me, it like really worked, and I didn't really strive to accomplish anything else, which, again, I was a server for such a long time that like I completely relate to it as a career path. And like sometimes I even still feel like I'm going to end up working in a restaurant again. But after COVID, I made, when everybody got laid off from COVID, I started bringing in unemployment, and unemployment coming in allowed me to pay my bills and rent and also not have to go to work all the time. And virtual reality is something that you can do from home. So I was able to like work on a channel, do VR stuff, and like really get behind it and push it during those COVID years. And, got to the point where, I had an opportunity presented to me before COVID was alleviated enough for me to go back to the restaurant. So I got involved, and I feel like I'm here now, like this is my third like job, I guess, in the VR space with Impact Reality in it right now. First Haptics, second Contact CI, and now Impact Reality. And I don't see any reason for me to exit this space. I love the community. I love the people. I love the technology. I've had so much fun getting involved in all of the stuff that I've been involved with. Like, I'm gonna go to Cologne for Gamescom next month. I'm gonna go to Rotterdam to host the VR Awards in November. Like all these amazing opportunities that are presenting themselves, and nothing's slowing down. So I think I'm here to stay, bro.
Man. You see, man. Hey, you heard how you said earlier about it. Scary. Hey, man, can you need me somebody to hold your camera? I say, because I'm trying to go out there. I mean, I signed up for the Europe route, for AWE. I'm trying to go for I went for a speaking role too. So, man, fingers crossed. But not even just that, bro. I thank you for laying out that schematics, man, because really it starts with a spark. And to really keep that spark going, and no Smokey the Bear status, you're lighting somebody else's fire, and that's what's keeping the candles going, and that's real inspirations. We have people that we sit here again, watch all day. We can sit there and go on Disney, all this and that. When I say my lady makes fun of me, I say turn on my YouTube, either have you pop up, either have my Saturday morning cartoons, or I got stuff about comic books. And
nice.
This is what supposed to keep our mind intrigued, but not even as that, my man. Like, you are on your 8th season of a show. Again, I just made a year with my show, so to see that like that's what goals remain. I want to chase that. I want to see you go way past 8 seasons, and I know you're gonna do that. And just to even see that fire, man, like that is big ups, because I know on this platform, I know you've seen it too, like many times with dynasties that we've seen that they're building up, and it just banned so quick. Just so many times again, we sit here like we started off with one path and then we go divert to somewhere else. And that's what the internet does. That's what the metaverse does. There's so many highways that we're on, but as long as we're still driving right, we're not gonna crash. You're gonna still end up at the same destination, but hey, it might just be in a whole different aspect and everything.
Bro, it's the intention. It all boils down to your intention. Like, if you just focus on your intention and like make that like the center of what you're doing, like everything will unfold. Like, to your point, like you don't exactly know what direction it's going to go or where you're going to land or what opportunity is going to present itself. But if you can focus on a pure intention for why you're doing what you're doing, and like, you know, almost like work it like a mantra or a prayer or something like that, like you will manifest that 100%. Like, keep your intention pure, get after it, and like take them on the chin as you're going through it, and it's already over, bro. Like, you know, you're doing great work here, Howard. Like, this is an awesome set. This has been a lot of fun. I really appreciate you having me on as a guest, giving me a reason to get the headset on and get into the metaverse a little bit. I absolutely love it. And it's been so much fun getting to know you and getting to hang out with you at events. And I know that it's just the beginning. I can't wait for more.
Yes. And I mean, hey, man, you was a party animal with the dancing, so I got to have that again, you feel me? But no, not. This is what, I mean, this is how connections are built. And I was just telling this to my lady, just telling this to my son. I'm able now to call people like you again. I call you a friend now with this because, hey, I'm not shady and I'm not slim, you feel me? So I know this is something that I'm going to really be doing. Like, again, this is my career. I told this as soon as I put on the headset. I started this thing as an artist. I came here, I was sitting here rapping, doing all this all day again. I'm still doing that to the point now I'm able to sit here and have fun with conversation now. Like, my lady say I always want to sit here and like hear somebody's journey, and I mean that's what makes my journey. When you can hear like somebody ways, and like, I mean, you can sit there and walk through the forest a different way now. You can sit there and look at a leaf a different like thought, and then I mean it all starts with seeing through somebody else's eyes. So man, before I even have you leave the stage here tonight and everything, do you have any words you could just leave up here for anybody that just want to chase in any aspect that they want to do?
Yeah, you know, I think we've done a pretty good job of hitting a lot of it, man. But at the end of the day, it really just boils down to giving yourself permission to do what you know you want. You know, like I said earlier, like I think it's easy for us to talk ourselves out of getting after shit. And I remember being in like 7th grade and joining the school band and wanting to do drums and like be the drummer. But in my brain, I was like, drums are too cool. Like, everybody's going to want to be the drummer. The whole band is going to want to be drummers. And like, I don't want to be just like, you know, I don't want to be that. So I'm not going to do that. And like, I totally should have been the drummer. You know what I mean? Like, I should have picked the drums because that's what I wanted to do. So give yourself permission to get after it and have fun while you're doing it. Like I said, focus on your intention.
Oh man, y'all heard that here, man. And no, big ups, especially what you do on your platform. I cannot wait to see more of Between Realities, and not even just that. I cannot wait to see more of your journey because hey, I'm following, but now I know creeper status. I'm following because hey, this is really what is paving the way to really build something great that's going on in this thing that we call the metaverse. And you're one of those pioneers that's a part of it. Made something out of nothing, and you see the coding behind it. Like I say, you see the building up with it, and no big ups. And I thank you for what you do for this platform. And any way the Howard Hour can help, hey, let me know. But no, man, y'all really need to put some confetti in the air, man, for Mr. Alex Meland. Yes.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you. Man, yes, folks. You see it, and you hear it. It all starts with what you got to do with construction. We don't all look to sit here and build something, but we're all building something. If you don't stay to that value of like, it's just going way beyond just being you, but you can stay being you can see what you can do. And I'm not just saying that to just be a no construction of like, oh, hey, you have to live by this way. No. Earlier, like how you said, with pure intentions, with pure thoughts, you can see how much you can go with it, because you could be your biggest component or you could be your biggest opponent. It all starts with what you want to do. If you want to be great, you will see that. And yes, you're gonna have to go through some stuff to get to that. But man, it all starts with you and what you want to see, not just right away, but what you want to see right in way. And I say that again, right in way, because hey, nothing is in your way when you're standing right. And again, man, it's all not gonna come overnight, you feel me? But man, Up until next time, y'all know how I always say to you, I'm living proof you can do this. Mr. Alex VR is proof you can do that. Make sure again that you check out all the work that they're doing with Between Realities. And not only just that, man, check out the podcast. They really have a lot of insight. A lot of visionaries that have been on that show, man, are really people that are really doing a lot for this fast space of technology that we're in. But man, stay true to what you do, people. You are your biggest blueprint. Somebody else is watching what you do. You know you don't want to fail. You know you want to sell, and you know you want to do it so the story can tell, man. Up until next time, y'all know I'll be saving y'all with C. This is your boy HT Howard 702. Let's get tripping like a kid, untying shoes. Thank y'all for rocking with me because I rock with you. Remember, everybody's a somebody. Your journey is a journey. And hey, do something great. Up until next time, you know, let's go. Get this